Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I am very excited about filming this video for you, and it is actually the second time I have filmed it. I went to edit and a whole entire half the video was corrupted. So fun times. At least I'm well versed in what I want to say in this video. So I was thinking the other day about how I wanted to add a new top 5 version to my top 5 series. And I got to thinking, if somebody were to ask me, not necessarily my top 5 favorite brands, but my top 5 brands that I could easily use exclusively. Meaning, if someone said, you can only use this brand for the rest of your makeup days. I mean, that would be horrible, but if that happened, I would like for it to be one of these 5 brands. There are many brands out there that could be in this video. But there are some criteria that I set for the choices that I made. I feel like the obvious one and the first criteria is that they have an extensive array of products, meaning they don't just have foundation for one skin type. They don't have 2 blush colors or one type of bronzer or one palette or 2 palettes. Like, they have very many options to span very many tastes in makeup that a variety of people have when it comes to purchasing their beauty products. I also felt like another criteria was that I have to get excited about their launches. There are some brands out there who have extensive products within their line, but I could just care less what's coming out. Like, it's nothing against the brand, it's just not for me. And then there's some brands where I'm constantly perusing the news section on the website to see what is coming out next. I also feel like the launches need to be differentiated enough to warrant me liking everything that they launch. For example, there are some brands out there who they'll launch, say, 12 things in 1 year, and 6 of them are basically just repackaged products from the first 6. There's not a lot of differentiation. There's not a lot of variation. And I feel like I need that. I need that to stay excited about a brand, for a brand to stay relevant for me. And finally, I just need their products to work. I want them to be effective. I want them to be good formulas. I want them to perform like they claim they're going to perform. I don't want to have to question, if I purchase a product from these brands, whether or not it's going to actually function as they market it to function. So all in all, this is basically a video of brands that if any one of these were to come to me and be like, hey, we want to hire you to be either a rep or a makeup artist solely for this line, I wouldn't think twice about it, because I enjoy pretty much everything they have. So let's go ahead and jump in, because I've got quite a few products to talk about, because I am going to be talking about my top 3 to 4 favorites within each of these brands. I'm not going to go in any particular order, but I'm going to start out with Bare Minerals. I feel like Bare Minerals is extremely underrated. I don't think it's talked about enough. I personally just really enjoy the majority of what they put out. I feel like they have consistent products. I feel like they have products that have stood the test of time. I feel like they don't need or feel the need to launch something every month. They really think a product out before they launch it, which I can appreciate. I mean, who doesn't love new makeup? But when a brand pumps stuff out like every 2 weeks, it just gets a little overwhelming. The base product foundation, it's not even called a foundation, but what I have on today is the Bare Minerals Complexion Rescue. I've talked a ton about this. This is a hydrating gel cream. It's not even technically a foundation. It's very cooling on the skin. It's extremely hydrating. I've had this on now for like probably 8 hours, because again, I just figured out that this video was corrupted, and it still looks just as good as when I put it on. It does have an SPF 30. I don't rely on SPF in any of my base products, but it definitely doesn't hurt, especially since it is all titanium dioxide, which is a mineral form of SPF. I'm in the shade Bamboo 5.5. Again, it's what I have on my skin today, and it just never goes wrong. It's a light coverage, very comfortable in the skin, very hydrating, perfecting the skin as you apply it, and again, last all day long. The next product from Bare Minerals that was a fast favorite for me are their Bounce and Blur blushes. So these are a type of like almost cream to powder So you press it and you leave a fingerprint in them. A couple other brands have done this type of formula before, so it's not completely original, but I really like the versions that they came out with in the blushes. So I have Pink Sky and then Blurred Buff. Blurred Buff is one of my favorite blushes of all time. It made it into my last top 5 favorite. It's very neutral on the skin. It goes with pretty much anything you want to wear it with. It could even be a bronzer on the right skin tone. And because they have that kind of cream to powder finish, they look very natural on the skin. They can be applied with fingers or a brush. Just really, really like these. And I'm not quite sure why I don't have more colors. I do. I have a mini of the mauve color. Love them. And then the final, well, not the final, it's not my only favorite, but a product that I don't think is talked about enough, which is actually on my vanity from Bare Minerals, is their loose concealer. This is in the shade Summer Bisque. I've talked about this before. I can't remember exactly what video it was, but I will find it and link it in a card. It will be showcased in an upcoming video idea that I have. It's fabulous. Again, it's been a long time since I put my concealer on, so right before I sat down to film, I buffed a little bit of this under my eyes, kind of brighten everything up, touch it up, and it just is perfection. It is not drying, it's not cakey, which I know are the first things you're gonna think of when you think about a powder product, especially for under the eyes, but I'm telling you, you're not gonna have any issues with it. You could use it to set another concealer, but honestly, I use it for touch-ups or as my only concealer if I am going somewhere and don't really want to wear makeup, but my dark circles are just out. They're out to play. And I need to cover them up a little bit. I will use this. Okay, the next brand I'm going to talk about is Bobbi Brown. So Bobbi Brown, I have always loved their aesthetic ever since I got into makeup. When Bobbi Brown, the makeup artist, started it, I feel like her aesthetic was very minimal, natural, didn't want to put a mask on, just really wanted to emphasize all the great parts of a woman's face and not mask it. And I really appreciate that aesthetic. I think since she's left the brand, it's changed a little bit, but not so much that I don't still appreciate all their products. And again, they are the type, well, they'll come out with limited edition products and palettes and stuff, but their original products have stood the test of time. One of those is a fast favorite of mine ever since I tried them long ago, and it is the Long Wear Cream Shadow Sticks. Now, these are only a few that I have. I have a few more colors in my kit. I will swatch these for you, but I have Dusty Mauve, Malted Pink, Golden Pink, Golden Bronze, and Bark. So I have some that are shimmery, some that are matte. I find they both work wonderfully on the eyes. They're very long wearing. They don't crease. They can be blended out with a brush or your finger. If you are a minimalist when it comes to eyeshadow, you cannot go wrong with eyeshadow sticks. And these are some of my very favorite as far as formula goes, longevity, color selection, everything. I absolutely love these. Another Bobbi Brown product that I feel like is maybe one that they're most known for, but I still don't feel like they get talked enough about, are their bronzers. I have 3 shades of their bronzers. They, as far as I know, are all matte. I do think they have I don't even know what it's called. Like Antigua was one of them. It was like a little bit more of a shimmery bronzer, but I believe all of their standard ones are matte. They have a great color range in the bronzers. I don't think they're flat matte. They don't make you look older. I know as we get older, sometimes we don't want any matte products or a ton of matte products on the skin, and these just look really good for a matte bronzer. These are the 3 shades that I have. This is Golden Light, which is going to be the warmest out of all 3. This one is Natural, which has a little bit more of a red undertone. And then this one is Stone Street, which I feel is the most neutral out of all 3. And I have Stone Street on the skin today. Just a very good formula that never lets you down. And then finally for Bobbi Brown, the blushes. I have to talk about the blushes because just are so pretty. All the ones that I have are matte. I will swatch them, but this is the newest edition. This is Clementine. I bought this for my personal use because I really liked it. I saw one of the pro artists on Instagram use it on her eyes as well as her cheeks, and I was like, yeah, I need that color. I don't really have anything quite like this Clementine color. And then this palette, I know I've shown this before on my channel. This I carry in my kit. This is my Bridal Bobbi Brown blush palette. All four of these colors look absolutely gorgeous on brides, bridesmaids, mother of the brides. It's just got that color story to it, and they never let me down. Okay, so this is Desert Pink, which is got kind of a mauve purpley undertone. This is Clementine, which is the one I just showed you. Then we have Tawny, which I feel like is my go-to for mothers of the bride. I just absolutely love that shade. I want to get closer so it could actually focus. Then we have Pale Pink. I don't know what's going on with my focus, but Pale Pink is right here, and then Nectar. So obviously, gorgeous colors, again, perform well, never let you down. So that is Bobbi Brown. Now let's talk about Charlotte Tilbury. Y'all probably knew that this was going to be in my favorites because I do talk about Charlotte Tilbury a lot. I love her products, and I just feel like she is consistently good at putting out high performing, good products. So my first favorite from her line has to be the Hollywood Flawless Filter. I know this is talked about a lot on YouTube and Instagram, but for good reason. It is a very versatile product. I like the shade number 4, which is right here, for an all over foundation underneath my foundation as like a primer, kind of highlight primer, or mixed in with my foundation. Now, if I'm wanting a separate highlight for above the foundation, I will use shade number 3. But I use shade number 4 the most. On my no makeup days, I will just use this. I have a highlight saved on my Instagram under no makeup, and I use this as my foundation. It's just glorious. It's luminous, but it's not too luminous. And a lot of times when you think about luminosity products, luminous products, you think it's going to accentuate stuff you don't want accentuated, but this almost has a blurring technology to it. It's kind of crazy, and it's just kind of wonderful. And I use it all the time. Definitely a hero product in her line. I have yet to use anything that's quite like this. I feel like this is in everybody's favorites when it comes to Charlotte Tilbury, and again, for good reason. The Airbrush Flawless Powder. This is in a shade medium. I believe they have 4 shades now. This is a fabulous powder, even if you have dry skin and tend to stay away from powder, because it's very finely milled. It has some oils in the formula. It never looks cakey. I feel like you can put it on and on and on, and it's still not too much, which makes it a great touch-up powder, and it's one of my favorite touch-up powders. This is, I have here, either my second or third compact I've hit pan on. I have these in my kit. They're fabulous. I just can't say anything bad about them. This is the powder that I have on top of the Bare Minerals, and I've not touched up or anything in the many hours since I have applied this makeup. It's just so good. If you haven't tried this powder, even if you're not a fan of powders, I highly recommend it. And then finally, for Charlotte Tilbury, I have to mention her larger palettes. Now, I don't dislike her quads at all. In fact, I have many of them that I love. But if we're talking formula, I think these will get a higher spot than the quads. At least some of the older quads. Some of the newer ones are a little bit similar, but I still feel like they're a little bit of a different formula. These are all 12-pan palettes, which she separates into 4 different trios to help you if you're not someone who likes to try to figure out what you're going to wear, or if you're someone who gets a little bit intimidated by larger palettes. You can definitely use just these trios to form its own look. I rarely do. I usually pick and choose from all of them. This one is the Stars in Your Eyes palette. Unfortunately, a lot of these are limited edition. The one that I have on my eyes today, I believe you can still get. But I'm talking about these because A, they're my favorite, and B, I want to make sure that if you haven't tried any, that you be on the lookout, because I don't anticipate she's done launching palettes like this, and I really highly suggest them. She launched one for a holiday last year, which I didn't get because I felt like the colors were pretty well represented in the ones that I already had, but it was gorgeous as well. This is the Starry Eyes to Hypnotize, which I think if I had to pick one favorite, this one would be it. And then the one I have on my eyes today, which I do think you can still get on the website, is the Large Pillow Talk palette. Instant Eye Palette Pillow Talk. Just really good formula. A mixture of mattes and shimmers. I feel like you can get many, many, many different looks without it being too overwhelming, too large, too intimidating. Just really good palettes. Okay, For the next brand, we're going to have to talk about Chantecaille, which these next two brands are like, it was really hard. It's like asking me what my favorite kid is. I mean, I just can't pick. But I'm going to tell you three of my top favorites, and then I am going to be participating in a fun, exciting live coming up in March on YouTube where I'll be talking about more, so stay tuned for that. But my top three favorites for today are the Future Skin Cushion Foundation. I will not talk about this because I have a recent top 4 ranking my Chantecaille foundations video where I talk about this, I apply it, I demo it, and I have a whole separate review talking about this, applying it, demoing it, reviewing it. So I'm not going to talk a ton. The next product from Chantecaille that I love are their bronzers. These are the powder bronzers. They also have liquid bronzers. Love them both, but if I had to pick, I would probably pick the powder. What I love about these, one of the things, is that they put them in different color reds, which I so appreciate. This is the darker bronzer, so it's in a darker red packaging. This is the lighter one, so it's in a lighter red. So when I have them next to each other in my drawer, I can easily pull them out knowing which color I am grabbing, which I just really appreciate that. When you have as much makeup as we tend to have, it's nice to have a differentiation within the packaging so that you don't have to pick them up and see what the color is. This one is Goa, and this one is Serena. So Goa is on top. It's a little bit darker. It also has more of a reddish undertone. And then Serena is warmer and a little bit lighter. They are both baked gelée formula, which is very forgiving on the skin, has a little bit of a sheen, but not a shine. To me, there is a very distinct difference. Works great with all brushes that I use it with and never lets me down. Love these bronzers so much. And then finally from Chantecaille, I would be remiss if I didn't talk about this mascara. This is the Longest Lash Faux Sols Mascara. I did a reel recently on Instagram showing 4 steps to my best lashes, and this is definitely the mascara I included in it. I've been using it pretty much every day for the past 2 months. This sucker is expensive. I am aware of that. I have never bought a mascara that was this expensive before. I do love it so much that I find that it's worth the price. Chantecaille is a very philanthropic organization. They are a small family-owned business. They do amazing work for wildlife foundations and just wildlife in general. I justify the prices for that alone. Plus, they have amazing products. Again, this is very expensive. I recommend if you've tried this and love it, or if you want to try it, they have a 30% off sale every year in the summer for Sylvie's birthday. I would stock up for the year then because you'll be able to save over $20 on this. But it's still, I mean, it's just good. I would be lying if I said it wasn't good. It's really good. It has like growth properties in it to help condition and help grow your lashes. I just can't say enough good things about it. Last but definitely not least, I am sure you have guessed what this is because you know I'm not going to talk about a favorites video of any kind, of any brand, without including Jane Iredale. And I have 5 favorite products from them because I can't pick. I mean, I really, truly can't pick. If you're interested in any Jane Iredale products, I have multiple videos on it. I will try to link them down below in the description box, or you can just search Jane Iredale on my channel and you will come up with full faces, collection videos. I talk about them a lot. But some of my very favorite products, the first is the Liquid Minerals. This is a foundation that can also be used as a primer. It's like a moisturizer. It's all the good things in one. It's sheer to light coverage. It has spheres of pigment that are suspended in an aloe vera hyaluronic acid base. And when you pump the product out, the pigment will kind of dispense, especially as you rub it on your face. And it's very hydrating, very perfecting, very sheer to light coverage. Concrete guy is here, so you're just gonna have to listen to Zeus, I guess. We're getting our driveway concreted. It's very beautiful. I use this as a primer or as a foundation, and I just use concealer to top it off if I need to. So good. This is the newest concealer product. This is the Jane Iredale Enlightened Plus concealer. He's very protective. And I have to leave in 5 minutes to pick up my girls. I'm gonna bring him in here. Okay. Lay down. Hey, hey, hey. Come lay down. Lay down. Good boy. Okay, I'm gonna have to have one hand on him and one hand talking to y'all. This is the under eye concealer corrector they just launched. It's SPF 30. I am in the shade number 1. I have used this countless times on my channel and Instagram if you want to check it out. I also have swatches of all 5 shades on my Instagram as well as my community page on YouTube if you don't have Instagram, because it's such a good product. And I really, really think that you should look into it. It's so high coverage. You need such a small amount. It's going to last you forever. Can't talk about Jane Iredale without talking about the Lash Conditioner. This is one of my 4 steps to best lashes. It's absolutely fabulous. It conditions your lashes. It helps them grow. You can use it as a primer under mascara, or you can use it at night as kind of like a growth type serum for your lashes. So good. Y'all. I know you understand. Can you lay down? Can you lay down? Can't talk about Jane without talking about her blushes. I have an entire blush video of Jane Iredale swatching all of the colors. This is in Mystique, which is what I have on my cheeks today. I love Jane blushes for their formula and how they perform on the cheeks. Y'all, I am so sorry. But they are also fabulous eyeshadows. Very versatile. And then finally, I have to talk about Allure. This is an eyeshadow. I have to have my hand on him at all times. But I use this as a highlight. You can see how much I've used. I have one in my backup drawer. I love this so much. It's the highlight that I have on my skin today, and it is absolutely beautiful. Again, shows the versatility of her products, that you can use an eyeshadow as a highlight and a blush as an eyeshadow. It's just, I love Jane Iredale so much. I can't tell you. Hopefully you enjoyed this. Let us know down in the comment section your favorite brand that you could see yourself using exclusively, your favorite products from those brands. Let's start a conversation. I absolutely love chatting with y'all and reading all of your comments. Be sure and like and subscribe before you leave so you don't miss out on any future videos. I hope you're all staying happy, healthy, safe, and sane, and most of all, you go out and have a very blessed day.